Hi, I'm Paul with Diode Dynamics, and today I'll be giving you a tour of our headquarters facility here in Missouri. Now this is the place where we design and produce all kinds of exciting lights for your vehicle, and we're going to take a look at everything today, from engineering to production and manufacturing, and even marketing, customer service, everything that goes into getting those lights to you. Let's check it out. All right, heading into our facility here, the first room you'll enter is our showroom. So this is our lobby and kind of a retail area. You can come here anytime during business hours to either pick up an order or find something new for your ride. Our customer service and sales team will be happy to help you out, answer any questions you might have. We've got a display board here kind of showing some highlights of our products, and we've got a pretty cool Bronco to set up on the wall here to show things off. You can control those colors, check out the output patterns as well. For our next stop, we're going to head upstairs. All right, so upstairs is where we basically have our offices. We've got a great team doing all kinds of functions in this area. So starting with our retail service and sales team here, our wholesale team over here, as well as accounting, HR, that sort of thing. And then we've got a whole marketing team and supply chain purchasing. Again, all kinds of roles to support the whole business and what we're doing and to make sure that you get taken care of. So when you give us a call, this is the team that'll be helping you out. Now let's go ahead and take a look downstairs. So at the bottom of this staircase, it brings us right into our main break room or team meeting area. Now, it was awesome being able to design the building for our own needs, and one thing we made sure we had was a big open space where we could all get together, have lunch together, have the all-hands meetings every week, and just communicate, talk to each other. So this is what this room is for. We've got company lunches once a month, we've got different events, and at the other side is our company fitness center. So one of our company values is to keep growing, and that's really highlighted by the fitness center we have here. Keep growing personally and professionally. That means having opportunities to do that. In this case, a fully equipped gym, cardio, strength equipment, some punching bags, all kinds of fun stuff, whatever people want, we've got in this gym so that we can keep improving ourselves. It's open 24/7 for all of our staff. Now our next stop is going to be our marketing studio area. This consists of two big bays that we had built specifically for this purpose. We bring in cars and trucks on a weekly basis to shoot all kinds of photos and videos for informational content as well as how to install things. So if you're in the St. Louis area, make sure you put your name on our list. We might get a call to test your vehicle, but here's where that happens to get you the information you need about our products. From here, we're going to check out our engineering area. So let's take a look. So this is our whole engineering office area. First thing you notice over here on the right is our driving simulation setup. So this allows us to actually shine light onto the road in kind of a video game type way to see how our lights compare to factory lights or even our competitors' lights. As you'll see, we've got a way to measure all the lights as well. We can input it directly in here from those measurements and see a simulation of how that light will look on the road. It's really helpful when making engineering decisions. From there, we've got our whole office area where we have our mechanical engineers, optical engineering, our electrical engineering, which includes firmware software design, as well as project managers and manufacturing and industrial engineering, who helps make sure we can set up the products to be made correctly. So we've got the whole team here. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the tools they use to do their job. We'll take a quick peek in here, which is our engineering garage area. So in addition to the marketing garage bays that we have, we actually have a whole area just for engineering. As you can see, we've got an F-150 here today. This is actually our truck. We're doing some work to get our new Elite headlights on the road. We also have, I guess, a pair of Ford Mavericks here, as you might guess. We've got some products coming for that new application. And this is just a great space right adjacent to our engineering offices where we can pull in cars to do that test fitment, the prototype testing, all the work that's needed to get a new product to market and make sure it works for you when you install it the first time. Let's see what other tools they use in our engineering area. So we've got a pretty big lab area for electrical and also prototyping purposes. So whenever we design a new product, we'll always have prototypes, usually multiple prototypes made, so we can refine the design as we go along, make improvements, make corrections for fitment, anything we need to do to make sure we're always delivering the best possible product. This is where that happens, and they'll build all kinds of prototypes on a regular basis. From there, we've got another tool, which is our 3D scanner. This is, again, really important. It's all about making sure things fit properly when we're designing these aftermarket lights for all kinds of vehicles. We can use this tool to scan original body locations and everything on the vehicle, mounting points, and we use it to scan in our parts as they arrive, make sure they're the correct size and geometry. We also have a bunch of other geometric tools here, surface gauges, everything to make sure everything is made to our specifications by our component suppliers. Next, we've got one of our photometric test equipments here. This is going to be an integrating sphere. So if you're not familiar, this is how we're basically going to measure the lumen output of any light bulb. Now, that's not really how we measure pods or headlights or anything shining in a specific direction. This is going to be for any bulb which is shining light in all directions, whether that's a bulb in your house or a fog light bulb on your car. So the way this works is we'll mount a bulb in the middle of the sphere. It's going to bounce around everywhere, and then we're going to measure it at one point. That point we can then calculate out based on the surface area and find the total amount of light energy or lumens that's shining from that bulb. So this tool is really important to make sure that everything that we produce is going to meet the brightness that you expect and match every other light on your vehicle. Now we've got a couple other tools as well. We have our 3D printer in here in this room, kind of to keep that quiet, but we also have some machinery and test equipment. It's a little bit too big and a little bit loud to keep in here. So let's take a quick look in our warehouse. So out here in our warehouse, we've got a whole corner for all of our engineering test equipment, a lot of test chambers, starting with some age test shelves, very important for daytime running lights that they're going to last a very long time. So we'll leave things running at elevated temperatures for longer periods of time. We've got our corrosion chamber here. Anything metal, we got to make sure that it's not going to rust, not going to corrode, the finishes are going to last. That really helps with that. We have a rain test chamber here. Allows us to do that IP testing, make sure that our seals are going to hold up and nothing's going to have moisture in it. And finally, we've got our extreme humidity and temperature chamber going all the way from -40 up to 150 degrees Celsius to make sure that our products will last over time with really hot and cold swings. Finally, we've got our vibration table here, simulating a couple of years of on-road use, going through a variety of cycles at different frequencies and resonance to make sure that these products, especially our off-road brackets and hardware, aren't going to come loose on the road. From there, we finally have our last piece of equipment, and it's our biggest by far. It's our light tunnel. And inside, we have a machine called a goniometer. So the way this works is we have a headlight or other lamp mounted on a platform in here. And this platform is actually going to rotate left and right, up and down, and shine all the way to the end of this tunnel. This tunnel is actually 50 feet long, and at the end we've got a sensor. So by rotating left and right, up and down, over and over, we can basically test all of the points of this beam pattern output. Now this is very important because this is how we ensure that our products are compliant for road legal use. It's a federal regulation that everything has to shine in specific directions. Of course, for a low beam headlight, you have to shine a lot of intensity down road, but you can't shine glare to other drivers. This light tunnel is how we map the entire beam pattern, test all those points, and make sure that things are compliant. But this is also a great tool for development purposes because we buy all kinds of products that are on the market, we test them out, and then we go and design something that we know is going to shine brighter. By having this type of equipment in-house, we get all kinds of information that allows us to make those engineering decisions. And when our engineers go to develop a product, they have all the data they need to ensure that they're designing something that's going to shine brighter. So that wraps it up for our engineering department. We're going to now head to our first production area. So here's what we call our circuit board assembly line, also known as an SMT line or surface mount technology. Now this is one of the big areas of production for us here at Diode Dynamics, and it's really important because the quality of our circuit boards that go into our products is going to determine the quality of that whole product. This is a big reason why we can offer an 8-year warranty for many of our products. We test every single board that comes out of our line, and we're the ones assembling it, so we know the quality is going to match our expectations. So how does this process work? Well, behind me you can see all kinds of finished circuit boards. These are known as PCBAs, or printed circuit board assembly. And as you might notice, we assemble all kinds of different actual bare boards, whether it's the green standard fiberglass color or our solid copper material boards. Very few companies are going to be using that copper because it's the most expensive option, but it also performs the best. So that's what we use in our high power LED products. We start the process by feeding a bare board into this first machine, which is known as a screen printer. This machine is going to use a stencil and basically squeeze through solder paste, which is just ground up little balls of solder in flux. It's going to squeeze that through tons of tiny windows and put it in every spot that we need to put a component down. Once that board has its solder paste screen printed, it's going to flow into our chip shooter or pick and place machine. Now, as the name implies, this is going to take components off of individual reels, whether it's LEDs, capacitors, resistors, even connectors and inductors, and it's going to place them with high precision onto that circuit board. It's going to read every single component, adjusting it, hundredth of degrees of rotation, making sure it goes on in exactly the right place. This is a pretty new machine, and this also helps us ensure that quality. This machine can even test the components before it puts them down to make sure it's got the right resistance value every single time. Once everything's placed on the board, we got our inspection station here where our team is going to evaluate that quickly, making sure that everything looks good, and then they're going to send it into our reflow oven. Now, this is just basically a big conveyor oven, but it is controlled to be very specific temperatures. It's important that we ramp up the temperature gradually and then just barely peak it so that that solder melts, bonds everything together, and then we're cooling down the board in a controlled manner. That's, again, going to result in the highest quality circuit boards possible. Once the whole board is assembled, it's going to come over to our AOI, or Automated Optical Inspection machine. This machine is basically just going to have a bunch of cameras and some recognition software to read where each component's located and make sure it's in the right spot and it's the correct component. Of course, from there, our team is going to individually inspect the boards as well. Every single circuit board is 100% tested by our team here, and our team is IPC certified as well, specifically to ensure the quality of printed circuit boards. That's what the whole thing's about, and that's what this whole team does here every day. Now we're going to head to our assembly area with these finished circuit boards. Now, our production team is divided into production cells. What's great about that is we can stay cross-trained across different product lines. Each cell is dedicated to a specific type of product with the tools and everything that we need to make that type of product. But our team is cross-trained so they can shift around to different cells where they're needed on a regular basis. And that's what's great about having all this space in our building. We don't have to tear down and set up different cells. We just move around to where we're needed. So we're going to take a look at all of our different cells today. Some of them you'll see people working, some not, but we stay busy here all the time. Our first one is going to be our new Rocklight assembly cell with our dispensing robot here, where we're dispensing and fully encapsulating our new Rocklight product. From there on this side, we've got our headlight or lamp assembly line. So this assembly line is divided into two sides, left and right. You can probably guess why. We'll make a left and a right at the same time on each side so that when we're done, we can get them all packed into one box at the same time. So this team uses basic tools, but often we'll be making our headlights here that have 50, 60, 70 components, a lot of steps, a lot of attention to detail, making sure everything comes together properly. Once the full lamp is assembled, it's going to go to our robot sealing machine. First, we have a bunch of test shelves to make sure we kind of do a burn-in, make sure everything's working properly. Once it is, we'll seal it up on this machine here. So today we've got some Jeep JL headlights on the machine, ready to be sealed. This machine is actually built into a turntable type setup. So we've got our control panel on one side here. The operator can load and unload the lamps into the jig, get everything ready. When they're ready to go, this will spin around, and the robot will come down and dispense seal it in the groove. Now this process is really important to make sure that we don't have any moisture intrusion or issues with this headlamp over time. That's why we use the robot. It's a really precise way of dispensing that sealant all the way around to make sure it stays sealed. Once it's sealed up, we actually do complete a complete pressure test. So that's what these machines are here. Got a lot of headlights being packaged up right now. And these two machines are going to have a jig installed, as you can see. We come down to the different openings on the lamp, and this machine is going to run a whole profile to basically pressurize the inside of the lamp and see how long it takes for that pressure to leak down, called a leak down test. So these machines are specifically built for that purpose. It's a great, easy way to do that test. 100% of the lamps that we make here are going to have that test to make sure they are fully sealed when you receive them. From there, our team's going to use this machine to actually make customized packaging, make sure everything stays really nice and protected as everything gets packaged away. So that's how we assemble the headlamps and other lighting full lamp products at our facility here. Now behind me we've got our general assembly cell. This team is going to make all kinds of power control modules, your tailless turns, always-ons, anti-flicker modules, LED boards, a lot of direct soldering on these types of products. And at the end we've got our encapsulation where we'll fill those up with an epoxy, make sure they're going to last against moisture, vibration over time. So nice big team here to do that. They also do some wire harness assemblies. You can see all the attention to detail on our testing. How many different products we have is kind of represented here with all these test boxes. Got all the connectors on here. Every one of these is calibrated and maintained by our engineering team. Everything's got part numbers assigned. Make sure that our team is doing that 100% test really thoroughly on each one of the products that they make. From there, we've got our ultrasonic cell on our right side here. Here you can see we've got 4 ultrasonic welders. These are Branson machines, and they're used to basically seal up any type of smaller plastic component, like a side marker. So we've been making a number of different side markers for a few years now, all kinds of different models. We have your OEM colors or available in smoked and clear, and this is where those get made. So our team will get the circuit boards installed inside, solder the connectors down, and then these machines will actually emit sonic waves to basically vibrate that plastic and melt and seal it together. Now for testing on this, it's always important to make sure everything's fully sealed. First and last unit off this line every day, we'll actually cut open, inspect that weld line, just like you look at a standard metal weld. We want to look closely at that weld to make sure we've got a nice firm seal. On this side is where our popular off-road lineup is made. So here on our left, we've got the team here basically using all kinds of pull-down screwdrivers and a really efficient process to make all kinds of our LED pods. Today we've got our C2s rolling through the line. And what's great about this is we start with our housings and circuit boards, then 15 feet away we're packing them into those finished boxes ready to ship to you. Of course, each one of them is going to have the serial numbers applied, production date, everything completely tracked here in production as well. If you have a problem, the first question you'll get from us is for a picture of that label, because we want to track it back, see when it was produced, see where any type of an issue might have come from. So this team is cranking out pods all day, a few hundred sets a day usually. This whole area is dedicated to longer term testing. If we don't have a test box, we'll hook it up on this shelf and test things for about 4 hours, making sure it's completely burned in, those LEDs are at full temperature, watching for any type of an issue. This team is also the ones that will be packaging up all of your accessories, your wire harnesses, brackets, hardware kits, all of that. Make sure you're fully supported in the process. We'll be shipping a lot of other materials along with our lights to our customers. Finally, down here we've got our make-to-order cell. So this is a really highly experienced person on our team who basically knows how to put together anything. We make all kinds of variants of our lights. That's one big advantage of being in the US doing this type of production. You might not know, but we're really one of the only companies actually assembling off-road lights, and definitely one of the only ones doing headlights in the US. Even a lot of big name brands have outsourced a lot of their production to either Mexico or overseas. We're proud to be doing that here, but it does mean that we've got to be nimble and agile to offer those variations. So if you order a blue backlit spot SS3 pod, it's going to be made here when you order it. We don't keep those in stock. Now, moving right along, if we take a look down to our right here, you'll see our whole receiving and reverse logistics area. So if you make a return to us, if you want to exchange something, as you might know, we've got a great return and exchange policy. 30-day returns, 90-day exchange, no restocking fee. This team has to stay really efficient and organized and cleaned up to make sure that we can do that effectively. So this team is going to receive everything that comes in our door. Also really important for manufacturing that we're doing a lot of inspections. So we inspect a lot of our suppliers, but we also inspect everything as it comes in our door so that we don't open a box and have something bad when we go to assemble it. Really important. So heading down this way is our shipping and finished goods storage. So we're fortunate to have a lot of product in stock now. It's really helpful making it all here straight out the door as soon as things are done. But this team is going to be responsible for shipping everything out. We've got 6 stations. One of them is dedicated to our bulk wholesale or dealer orders. And then we ship out a ton of direct individual items to our online customers as well. So if you've ordered something through our website, it has come straight through these desks. Of course, we have really busy days on Mondays or during sales. I think our record is just over 3,000 shipments in one day. But this team keeps these orders shipping out basically same day you order and really high accuracy on those orders. So that's going to wrap up our tour here today of Diode Dynamics in St. Charles or St. Louis area, Missouri. We really appreciate you spending some time to learn about what we do here and how we do it. If you're in the local area, please feel free to come by and we'll show you around in person. Otherwise, hope you have a great day and you check us out for your next lighting need. Thanks for watching.